Did you know that the left is turning slavery into a race issue? Curious. Come here, wonderful clip I saw while on vacation.
Yep.
I don't know why the color's off.
Because they're very invested in this whole idea that the nation was founded on the idea of systemic racism, that it's built into every single institution in America, even in the military. Folks are worried that this is something that they need to address within the military. And we just did a story about how the Navy is underprepared right now, but they're spending a heck of a lot of time on this. What do you think about that?
It's absolutely absurd because nobody really wants to get the real history of it. America was not founded on racism. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, there was slavery going on, but slavery itself was not initially a racist thing. It never was about race initially. So to sit there and take it like America was founded on racism, it's a complete lie. Yeah, there was slavery going on, but slavery was going on in all the world. It never was a race thing. So why are we making it a race thing now?
Ty Smith, thank you for being here. Good to have you with us today.
This guy is every Republican senator's black friend. I don't know, man. Wow, that is quite the position to take, isn't it? Oh boy, that's a pretty bad one, isn't it? Hey, do you recognize this guy, by the way? This guy is the same Illinois father who showed up during the during that totally unscripted and unplanned student-teacher meeting on critical race theory. He's got his little YouTube thing right back here. They're calling him an Illinois father while he's using his streamer setup. He has the thing right back there. No, this isn't actually Candace Owens' brother. He referred to himself as her brother once. People picked up on that, including myself. He's just a YouTuber. He's not actually Candace Owens' brother. He's just a conservative YouTuber. But yeah, slavery wasn't a race thing. I really don't know what I'm supposed to take from this. Do I have to debunk this? What is the counter argument for that? It's actually impossible to form a counter. It's actually a completely undefeatable argument. Because I gotta admit, man, if I was just talking with like a black guy who came up on the stream to debate me, he was like, slavery wasn't a race thing. Damn, I'm gonna kill myself. No, I'm not. Twitch, don't. No, in a video, Roblox, you get it. I don't know what the appropriate response is to that. Do you self-destruct or something? I have no idea. There are so many things that I could say. First of all, it's funny that like Republicans will accuse people of being anti-white for teaching their children about the existence of white privilege, and then say slavery wasn't a race thing. That's a pretty extraordinary position to take, God, where do I go with this? Okay. I guess brief history lesson. Slavery was a race thing. Yeah. I don't know. It was a race. I like how he throws in the it wasn't a race thing, everyone was doing it, as if that means anything. That'd be like saying like, dude, the Holocaust wasn't an anti-Semitic thing. People were being killed all over the country. It had nothing to do with them being Jews. People die all the time everywhere. Like it's a complete non-argument. It just doesn't follow. It's neither valid nor sound. Yeah, so I'm actually not going to waste any time trying to explain the ways in which this is obviously wrong, and instead kind of broadly talk about the meta-narrative here, if that's okay with you guys. I don't know how much time and attention this particular set of claims need. This is one of the reasons why we have to push back as hard as we can on the critical race theory moral panic dogma that's coming out of the far right now. Because they will apparently now, it's critical race theory to say that slavery was a race thing in the United States. That we have now reached the point where making that claim is considered critical race theory. Now, mind you, this was kind of written on the wall if you read anything about the 1776 Project or patriotic education. They want to turn critical race theory into a catch-all buzzword which describes anything and everything you could teach people that would make them aware of and willing to fight back against racism. Racism will simultaneously not exist, but also anti-white racism will be an epidemic of untold proportions, teaching your children about the civil rights movement will be critical race theory. Teaching children about the concept of white privilege will be critical race theory. We've seen all of this happen before, by the way. This happened before during the civil rights movement. You know what they called the civil rights movement protesters back then? They called them communists. If you really want to, you can find plenty of civil rights movement anti-protesters. There we go. We want the angry ones. They would call civil rights protesters un-American. They would say they were communists. They would say that the very concept of racial equality was a communist idea, that it was an unjust type of fake equality that only like a Stalinist could believe. The anti-civil rights movement mirrored the language that's being used today because they use scary buzzwords as a catch-all way of describing anything and everything anti-racist. And it's happening right now. Again, people accuse me of hyperbole from time to time, but I'll say it. Fox News is the major conservative outlet in this country. If they've gotten to the point where they're going to say that slavery wasn't a race thing, I think they'd be okay with slavery. Maybe the grifter making this claim wouldn't be, but I think that like the people consuming this media, like give them like 5 or 10 years of like Tucker Carlson types telling them about like natural order, and yeah, I think they would. I really do think that. Yeah, the people who are insane enough to listen to this the statement, you know, slavery wasn't a race thing, and then walk away from that thinking, yeah, you're right. The left made that a race thing. It was like totally neutral before that. Those people are lost beyond description. What do you even do? What do you even do with that? Just disgusting. And they 100% would. Never, ever, ever be surprised by the idea. Do you think Republicans would accept slavery now if given the option? Right now? No. They need at least 5 or 10 more years of being told insane bullshit from the media outlets that make money from telling them. No, for sure, though. And by the way, keep in mind, we have more... the slavery in America has never left. We're not done with slavery in America. We have systems that very pointedly and very deliberately lock up more black people than other racial groups, and then we use them for essentially free labor. And all of the systems that lead to the racist outcomes in the criminal justice system are super well known and well studied. It's not like some little like quirky little tidbit, some little like niche bit of info people over. It's super obvious. And in fact, it was done by design. The architects of the criminal justice system and the drug war knew very well what the effects would be of those systems on people of color. They did it deliberately. They did it knowing that their cheap and free labor could be used easily and, cheaply in the subsequent years. And we've kept that system for a long, long time now. How long do you think it would take for America to return to Jim Crow laws if we were purely under Republican leadership? The thing is, I don't think the Republican Party would ever explicitly endorse racism. What they would instead do is deny the existence of racism, and then they would enforce all the same systems as what used to exist, but they would do it through like a superstructure above race that catches race really, really well. Okay? So an example of that would be like the North Carolina voter ID law. If the Republicans had their way, they wouldn't like reinforce Jim Crow laws. Instead, they would make it so like black people are far more likely to be poor. And then they would make poverty, along with the zip code you're born in, along with redlining, along with a bunch of other biases that they say is critical race theory to acknowledge. Then they will make it harder for those people to vote, harder for those people to get legal representation. Essentially, it's about maintaining all of the systems racism perpetuated, but through other adjacent indicators like class. Class is a fairly obvious one, you know? But who knows? I could be wrong. Maybe they'll just go full out open. The races need to be kept separate. Who knows? I have no idea. All I know is that anyone who thinks that I'm engaging in hyperbole right now has absolutely no right to make that claim in the wake of this. In the wake of this, you have absolutely no right. You cannot tell me I am being hyperbolic when this is the kind of stuff I am being subjected to. Okay? And also, by the way, why aren't democratic media institutions propping up left-leaning YouTubers the way these people are, this guy? This guy's a YouTuber. He's smaller than I am. He's on Fox News. He was getting promoted by Tucker Carlson. Why is this guy getting the jump? Give me a goddamn MSNBC appearance, okay? I'll go on there. I'll wear a suit and tie. I'll look real professional, and I won't say like 2/3 of the things that I want to say about everyone else there. Okay, I'll keep very quiet. We'll be very civil. Give the coconut analogy in the MSNBC segment. I will. Okay, bro, you're self-reporting. You just want more clout, lol. Yeah. You caught me. I, a YouTuber, want clout? Dog, that's crazy. A political a YouTuber, want to go on a large political news source and publicize myself? No. No. I'll do it. I'll give them the coconut analogy. Okay. You know what I'll do? If I ever go on there and I ever get a chance to do the coconut analogy, it won't be dick sucking. It'll be like, you have to braid my hair or something. You know, you have to braid my hair. That's what it's going to be. That'll be my dog whistle.